It was blustery on this last day of the year 1964. Black ducks were strewn across the 13-kilometre stretch of Lake Dumbleyung. The world water speed record attempt was abandoned and packing up had commenced. All hope had disappeared. Then, in the early afternoon, a miracle. The word went out that the wind had dropped and the ducks had vanished. Conditions were ideal for one final attempt. The Bluebird was relaunched. The engine fired. The Bluebird approached the chosen start position and all was set. Campbell steadily opened the throttle to full power and the Bluebird exploded across the once still waters of the lake. History was made. The key to Donald Campbell's success was a reliable fuel supply. Bracky Bracknell was the man who kept the camp supplied with fuel. Then in January 1965, Bracky transported the Bluebird around the state on a victory tour. On Sunday, February the 10th, 2019, we obtained a first-person account from Brian Bracky Bracknell.
Brian, pleased to meet you, Brian, and
Bill.
thank you so much for taking the time to come and do this interview with us. We're really going to focus on your involvement in the Bluebird event when Donald Campbell came to Dumbleyung to break the world water speed record, and just your recollections of that time. How did you come to be involved with Donald Campbell?
Well, that's a pretty good question. I'll have to think about that one a bit.
Were you carting gear to the site, to the launch site, in preparation for
Oh,
the boat?
if I did, it wasn't much.
So it was mainly after the event when you transported the boat
Yes,
up
that's
to
right.
Perth. What are your recollections of that time?
There were quite a lot of people around, I can remember that. But we had a good trip, no problem.
And how long did that take approximately?
God, that's a long time ago, mate.
Yeah.
We didn't get up the top speed, of course, of the traffic. I had to sort of concentrate on the others rather than myself, yeah.
Okay.
But we had no problems, no prangs or no arguments, no fighting.
All went smoothly.
Yes, it
Yeah,
did,
okay.
yeah.
But that's the reputation you have in your career. You've never had an accident or caused an accident, lost no points, so...
That's right.
Yeah. 8.5 million kilometres you drove, apparently.
Well, I would imagine it would be that.
Yeah.
I've never checked it.
Ampol were one of the main sponsors of that event, weren't they?
Yes, they
Okay.
were the main sponsor.
And how did that come about?
They finally grabbed hold of me, and I didn't have a lot to do with the organising.
They just more or less said, Bracky, we want you to take the boat up to Perth.
That's right, yeah, and that was it.
Okay.
And I did a few trips for them too after that.
After you transported the boat to Perth, you... Yeah?
Yeah, I carted over east, if I remember rightly. It's a long time ago though, isn't it?
If you drove the boat up to Perth?
Yeah, I think I picked it up from the lake, or
Yeah.
from Dumbleyung, and put it up in Perth amongst all the traffic.
And made a lot of stops along the way.
Oh, well, yes. Not big stops. People used to cut you off so they could stop and take photos, and there wasn't any arguments anyway. No accidents.
Yeah, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah. No, everything went well on that trip. I can remember that. We had no problems at all.
What sort of truck did you use to transport the boat?
The V8 Inter, I think it was.
From the photos, it looks like an international.
Mm.
What are your fondest memories of that time? Was it actually meeting Donald Campbell?
Oh, yes, I met him up and we had several good talks. And they're all a good mob. Nothing was too much trouble for them, and there was no problems on any of the trips. So I can't get any better than that.
And from what I understand, Donald Campbell was a real gentleman.
Oh,
wasn't he?
yeah. He was real gentle,
Okay.
gentleman, friendly.
Because his wife was there as well,
Yes,
and his daughter,
and his daughter,
Gina.
yeah, Gina. Yeah, so she put a few words in. I didn't have much to do with her. I had a couple of yarns with her, but there were a lot of people around. I seem to come from everywhere
Well, all of a sudden, Dumbleyung was on the international map.
on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw a sign somewhere recently where it said New York, London, Paris, Dumbleyung.
That's probably right.
Brian, can you tell us a little bit about how the launch pad was actually constructed for the Bluebird?
That was virgin.
It was virgin bush.
Yeah. There'd be sand on rock. There would be sort of a beach.
Okay.
Beach around the lake. That's what it would be.
Were you there when they put it on your truck?
Done a couple of times, yeah.
Yeah. And what, they use a crane, did they?
Yep.
and otherwise they'd use the bank and push it up.
Yes, they wouldn't do that. That'd be the least they do because
Yeah.
it's more awkward.
If they used the ramp to get it up onto the truck, they would have had wheels to drag. They wouldn't drag it up. They have to take it up with a crane.
Yeah, crane would have got a bit of use.
During your career in transport, you've achieved many milestones, like awards, etc. Can you recollect any of those awards or particular milestones of your career?
I don't really like talking about them, but other people will try to get me to talk about them.
Yeah. It's just for future generations, what you did in your career as a transport company, the fact that you never caused an accident.
Not that I can recall.
No. If everybody drove more responsibly, then a lot of lives would have been saved.
Definitely.
So those awards that you received, you might not want to talk about them, but I think it's really important.
I'll probably try to forget them actually, so I wouldn't remember a lot of them. You seen that one?
Yeah, that's a beauty.
Mm.
Road Transport Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I think it was the driver of the year. Mm.
So Driver of the Year 1999.
Yeah.
That's quite an achievement. I know you didn't set out to achieve that, but it's in recognition of your
Past.
past.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that. I was very happy to do that and pleased to get it done. Yeah, without any problems.
Everyone we spoke to about you, Brian, said that you're a very quiet man.
Yeah, no, I'm not a wild talker or a loud talker.
No, okay.
No, I talk on the god out. Quiet, yeah. I used to play in a band.
Really?
Where'd you play?
Funny things. No,
Yeah,
I've forgotten. I'm sorry.
yeah.
So did the team stay at the hotel or just camp around the place?
There's a bit of everything, I would suggest. Probably the top, not supposed to be at the pub, and the rest of it in tents or caravans or just out in the paddock somewhere.
So it's like a big circus coming to town.
Yeah.
You know, all this stuff just turning up.
Yep, and a lot of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We carted a lot of the fuel for him, but they did a lot of it too.
Mm.
All in all, it was a pretty good job.
Yeah,
Mm.
great job. Small community, everybody got together to support the whole
Yes.
event. And
They did.
what effect did that event have on Dumbleyung and the state, the Bluebird event?
Well, I think it was a pretty big event.
But it had a very positive effect on
Oh,
Dumbleyung,
no doubt,
didn't
no
it?
doubt, yes.
Yeah.
Everybody knew Dumbleyung. There was no problems anywhere. Everything went well, you know. No arguments, accidents, or that sort of thing. So it went off pretty well.
So they had a pretty big team, didn't they, of support? Because some of the photographs, there's a lot of people involved in.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did Campbell sort of just turn up once everything was set? You know, fly in, jump out, jump onto his boat.
It wasn't a flash bloke. He sort of took his time to get these things going and get them done, and he's gone. He didn't hang around and didn't interfere with anyone.
It's a really big operation.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of people.
Yes.
You know, really. So would you transport his fuel? Because apparently that thing guzzled fuel like.
No, he was on the Ampol transported
Ampol.
the fuel, yeah.
Yeah.
It was the local Ampol dealership that carted the fuel to the lake. Who carted the fuel to the launch site for Donald Campbell?
Yeah, I
Brian?
carted most of that from Dumbleyung.
Were you the local agent for Ampol?
Yeah,
Lots of 44-gallon drums were carted out. to
mostly
the-
then.
Yeah.
We ended up with some of the big boys were in tanks. I forgot
Okay.
pardon me. I forgot to fill up a fuel tank somewhere.
Yeah.
They've got a fuel tank.
So was that the only thing you carted to the launch site? Just a fuel, or was it?
Yeah, and there was probably more than that, but I just can't recall.
How many kangaroos did you hit up on the way up?
Oh, none. I'm an animal lover.
Yeah.
No, there's plenty of roos around, of course, but there's somebody in front of me all the time to keep them off the roads and save all those problems.
So what was it like? You come in with this truck with this vehicle on the back. There would have been crowds around everywhere. What was that like?
Yeah, there were plenty of people there.
Yeah.
I used to get in the way a bit, I'd give them a kick in the bum and get him out of it, but there's no harm.
When you launched the boat, would you just put it on the low loader or whatever it was and just back it in off the ramp and then slide it in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would float off, yeah. No, I was pretty happy with the way everything went.
Yeah.
I think most of them were.
So I was going to say, what was the party like on that New Year's Eve? The record being broken, it must have been a really big party here.
There was quite a few there, yes. I didn't have much to do with that. I never used to drink much of my time. But I watched what was going on. They were all happy.
Very happy.
Happy and... yeah. And I thought, as far as I'm concerned, everything went pretty well.
And then for a long time they had the Bluebird event for some years afterwards to commemorate the record being broken on the actual day.
Yeah. I think actually everything did go well.
So Donald Campbell fulfilled his dream to break both the land and water speed records in the same year, a feat made possible by the dedicated support of the locals, people like Brian Bracky Bracknell.